Alright.
I have
Alright, so we made our decks.
Okay, so let's do some like work.
Alright, so we made our decks. Okay, so the function of every card. So a virus card is choose one hero on the field and destroy it by infecting with the virus, but you must have a suitable tool to do that.
Like 3 to 4,
you activate
like
this card on your
practice
turn only.
Okay. Does that sound good?
Tool card, you activate this card on your turn only when you have a suitable virus to destroy a hero. Then the tool card goes out of the game and the virus remains, so you can use more than one tool on the same virus. Activate this card on your opponent's turn only when he activates the virus to destroy your hero. Effect this card to save your hero from infection, the tool will destroy the hero, save from the virus. The remaining from this goes out of the game. Okay.
I've got a one, but you go and those
and you need to
okay.
with that hero to your opponent.
Thanks, guys.
Only one hero every turn. So at the first turn you draw 4 cards, and then every turn 2 more cards. So they added 2 rules to this. So based on your turn, you draw 2 cards. Okay, that's what it is. So you draw 4, and then it says you can discard 1 card, or 2 cards, or 3 cards, or all 4 cards, and draw the number which discard for only 1 time in the game. So you can do a redraw, basically. So that's one thing. Mark, you can just say redraw. If you don't like your hand, you can redraw. The other rule is that any time in the game, on your turn, you can discard 2 cards and choose and draw 1 new card from your deck. Okay. Alright, well that makes sense. So attacking is the only way to decrease your opponent's points of immunity, so you need to decrease your opponent's points to 0 first. You can attack with 1 hero every turn, and you can choose your target of attack above the level. So damage. Example, your hero is 10, attacking hero 8, then 1 player loses 2 points from 10 to 8, and hero 8 becomes 0 to 7. As you can see, every successful attack on a hero by a stronger one, he loses 1 point until he gets to 0 and is destroyed. Okay. How are we supposed to track that? On their game, they have like a field of boards. They have like counters with like, damage counters, I think. So we can just use beans. So I'll just kind of get beans.
You guys should put a little marker on the cards that are used in the basic game, or a little marker on the cards that are used in the advanced game, so you can easily pull out the ones that you don't need for your starting deck without having to count down the list. What'd you say? That they should have a marker on the advanced cards so you can just pull them out without having to match up the list.
That's a really good idea. Okay, so like we said, because we don't have a field to play and we didn't have time to create it, we here are going to basically do it the same thing but with bean counters, because the other ones is just like little spinners where it just marks your health on your heroes and then your master health for your 20 points. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you have 20 points, although I don't see it anywhere in here. But I guess because the board will say 20 points, then it doesn't matter. But I think you should probably still have 20. How many points you have for your person in here somewhere. Okay, so how do you mix your cards? We shuffle. You draw 4 cards, and the player who's going to go first draws 2 cards. So that's like your first turn. So Sam, why don't you go first? So you draw, and then you can summon 1 hero per turn.
Okay.
You could use a virus or tool. You can put face down medicine, and you can attack.
Okay.
You can arrange 4, 5, 6, and 7 as you want. So your actual turn should be broken out in this turn order. Turn actions.
So I can put out a tool. Okay. Next first up, we'll draw 4 cards. Going first, draw 2. Use virus or tool. Attack turn. Okay. So I'll put down hero. I will
Did you get a chance to talk to someone?
put out
Oh, did you just say?
a
Oh, okay. I thought you were being sent.
virus
No.
tool. Down, face down medicine, and electrics.
So how do we determine how much attacks do against per people?
Like based on this, if it was 2 points, if it was 10 to 8, this is 8 to 0, so I assume it was 8.
Really?
Yeah. Some games.
Is that how it works?
We should get Rob to play test it.
So player, okay, example, hero 10 is attacking hero 8. So player 2 loses 2 points from 10 to 8.
Right, but you don't have a hero to block with.
Hero 8 becomes hero 7.
Yeah.
Because, why though?
Because when a bigger hero hits a smaller hero, the smaller hero gets a -1 token. That's damage.
Okay. So I'm already feeling like it's not fair that you can either attack me before I get a chance to play a hero. Like that's not fair. We should be able to play. I should be able to put down stuff before you can attack. Either you can't attack me your first turn, or we both get to play, or we both get to start putting out cards before you attack.
Yeah.
Did someone?
The last.
I agree. You should not be able to attack on your first turn.
Okay. But let's just play it out. So in that case, let's just do big ones are.
Did you guys see what Rob did?
I know. I also didn't sign it yet.
So big ones are 5, you want to say?
Yeah.
So I have 20. You have 12.
I have 12 points, right? Okay. So I'll just do those at once. Okay.
Well, it's your turn.
Alright, so now I have 12 points of health. So I'm going to put down hero. And I'm going to put down medicine. I put it down face down. I can only put down one, right?
Yeah. Did you drop your cards at the start of your turn?
Oh, I didn't do that. Shit. It's fine. And then I can put down as many tools as I want.
It says use virus or tool. It doesn't say how many.
Okay, so you should definitely say how many you can put down. But you put down one. Alright, we'll say it's one.
Well, I would say that it should be unlimited. If they specify you can only do one hero, they don't specify the number of any other thing.
That's true. No, it says it. But you can use as many cards as possible, such as a virus tool. There's no maximum. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. You can only summon one hero. But I'm a little confused about how you are supposed to attack with tools, right? So you activate this card on your turn only when you have a suitable virus to destroy the hero. Then the tool goes out of the game. The virus can't be used.
Yeah.
So the virus cards choose up here in the field and destroy it by infecting it with the virus, but you must have a suitable tool to do that. It actually start your turn.
Right. So it would be during the use a tool virus phase, and then that uses up the tool.
The only way the tool is destroyed is if you use a medicine card on it.
Okay, so the tool stays in play.
Yeah. So one of the things I think that you should probably work on is thinking about typical game terminology, right? Like how we're talking about this now, right? So one of the things we're like, okay, a tool card is like an attacking card, right? And medicine card is like a counter defense card. No, it might be obvious. I think medicine might be defense, tools are attacking of some sort. You should probably write it down here so that we can kind of more understand the flow of like what cards do without having to read them completely. Yeah.
Also, I think the word tool is a little confusing because a tool is usually something that you use deliberately to make something or to like solve something, whereas these just seem to be like things that are spreading diseases, and in the real world they're spread accidentally. So it might be more correct to call them vectors or like pathogens or something because they're spreading diseases.
I agree.
And it would be more clear to players how they're used and what they do.
Okay. I'm still confused about how tools affect. Like, you use a tool against my hero?
Yeah, well, you're using the virus, but you need the tool to use the virus. So this tool can use B, C, or D.
I see.
So I would be, okay, I'm going to use my virus to hit your hero, and then I can do it because I have this tool, and then you do the effect of it and it's on the card.
Oh, I see. And so, but I can always attack with heroes, right? Just without viruses?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it seems to be.
Yeah, okay. So, alright, I'm gonna attack you with my hero.
Alright? Well, I think you have to attack my hero.
Do you have to attack your hero?
I think if you can only attack a player if there's no hero defending them.
I can choose my target of attack. You can use heroes on your hero to defend you without heroes. Your opponent can attack you directly. Okay, so it's probably one of those things where like, I can say I'm attacking you, but you're defending your hero, so it doesn't matter.
Right, and my hero is an 8 versus a 6, so my hero doesn't take any damage, right?
Yes.
And I think yours is 1.
So why would I ever do that then?
You wouldn't.
So one of the things I'm really thinking about is if you look at the game Hearthstone, and even Magic the Gathering, what they do with numbers is really interesting and easy because there's a very simple like defense and attack. And so like I would know exactly like what my defense is and what my attacking is. And I would know like if I have 6 attack, then this is not gonna hurt it, right? But if I have 6 attack and 10 defense, I know that I will go down, you know, like I'll go down to 2, but at least I'll do 6 damage against the hero, right? Like there's no, like, if this is acting as your attack and your health, like I'm a little confused about like what's the point of me even doing anything.
Well, right, well the problem, I don't think the problem is that you only have one number. I think one number is probably simpler for most people to get. I think the problem is that a small hero can't damage a big hero. So you can attack with a 6 and block with an 8, and your 6 is going to get hurt, and the 8 is going to be fine. If all heroes that fought always took a minus, then at least you might have a reason to attack.
Yeah, you're right. That's kind of what I was thinking. Like, even okay, if I wanted to attack, right, and then Sam's like, no, I'm going to defend my hero, then I die because he does 8 damage to me. But now this one has lost 6 because that's how strong my hero is, right? Like it would make sense for you now to only have 2.
Right, but that's not how it works. The leftover damage goes through to the player, and the smaller hero takes 1 damage. That's how it works.
Oh, that's how it works. I don't lose my hero.
If you don't lose it, you would take 1 damage. Your hero would take a -1 counter.
And you would get nothing.
And I would get nothing.
So there would be no reason for me to attack.
Right, it's a lose-lose for you.
So that's a problem, I think. There's no reason for me to do anything at that point.
Right, so you should do nothing except maybe discard and draw to get a bigger hero. But yeah, it's complete luck that my hero is bigger than yours, and there's nothing you can do about it.
So that's why, I mean, even just that simple thing of just like being able to attack and get down your points, like even though I would maybe like lose my hero or like whatever, like that might be a thing to like explore. That'll be a lot of radical shit, but just keep in mind. So alright, I'm not gonna do anything now, so make sure.
Okay, I'll play a hero. Medicine. I'll play a virus. I will use my tool to infect your hero. So I don't need like line them up, so I know that I did that. And
What is the virus?
Actually I'll use this virus. So this is virus D. The effect of it is turn 1, it's -2, turn 2 is -3, and turn 3 is -4. So it would be -2 right now.
Okay, and how do I counter things? So medicine, activate this card in your opponent's turn only, which activates a virus to destroy your hero. The effect of this card is to save your hero from infections which will be destroyed. The hero is saved, the virus remains, and the medicine goes out of the game.
Okay.
So just countering your tool basically. So it takes away my effect.
Do you have medicine that prevents D?
No, I have medicine that prevents something else, so I can't use it.
Okay, so your hero gets 2 -1 counters.
Yep.
And then I will attack with my 4 and my 8.
Okay. So I can't do anything.
Well, you can block one of them. Right?
Oh,
I guess what happens is they'll both attack your hero.
No, it says you can choose. It says you can choose. And you can choose a target of your attack from the field. Right? So you can choose anything. So you can choose to like say I'm gonna have this guy fight this guy, and this guy fight this guy.
Well, then I would just target you with both of them and kill you.
But then I can defend.
Okay.
I mean, that needs to be clear, right? Like, are you choosing who's choosing what and who chooses when and what? How do you know if you defend or not, right?
Right. Like, is it like Magic where I declare attackers, they always attack you, and then you choose to block with a hero? Or do I have to attack your hero, and then any damage that's left over spills through? Or can I divide them up as I will? Or can you choose not to block? Like,
Yeah, there's certain like elements of strategy that need to be like really laid out in this kind of game. So according to like the rules right here, it says you need heroes that are going to defend you. Without heroes, your opponent can attack you directly. It seems like the way it works is you have to attack my hero.
That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah. So you basically are attacking my hero with both of these.
Okay, so that's what we'll do.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so that's 12. You block 4 of it, so 8 goes through.
Yep.
And then you get a -1 because my 8 is higher than your 4. And I guess these two guys, they were both 4s at the time you're talking to each other.
Yeah, that's confusing too. Like how much? When is like the turn of action and damage?
Right.
You know, like do they combine? Do we do separately?
Right. Like, do I attack with one and then attack with the other?
Yeah.
Or do, like...
I don't know. But either way now, I'm down to what? So that was 8 damage?
You're down to 4.
I'm down to 4 health. So I've only taken 2 turns right now, and I'm about to lose. If we're playing correctly based on the rule set that we see. There might be something where you can't actually attack, like the damage doesn't go through. I'm not 100% sure, but it seems like the damage does go through.
Yeah, it seems like the damage goes through to me.
Unless the damage doesn't go through and the only thing is the hero loses points.
But it said in the description that if the 10 attacks an 8, that the defending player will get 2.
Player 2, yeah, alright, you're right. Unless that meant player 2 as in like player 2's hero or something.
No. Because then it says the hero loses 1. Player 2 loses 2. That's
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
The hero loses 1 because it's greater than 7.
So, okay. Yeah, I think, so, it's not necessarily that this rule's way of attacking is broken or anything, but you have to give us a chance to put heroes out. Maybe you start with heroes out, maybe you can't attack, maybe the attacking is not the point value, maybe the attacking is like, if it gets through you lose 2 points or always or something like that. Because like, I don't know, there's no way I can win now, like it's impossible.
It might be, like, it might actually be better if the heroes only deal with each other and not the player, and instead you're trying to infect the other player with a virus. And you can only do that if the heroes are going in. So, like, these guys are, like, attacking heroes and each other, and, like, you can infect them with the viruses to make it go faster. And then if I eliminate all your heroes, then on my turn, next turn, I can infect you.
So the players can only lose points by infecting. Right, by getting infected with viruses.
Right. But like, if you want to make the game run a little, like, that might take a while to clear all the heroes out. In which case, maybe the player doesn't have life points. They just don't want to get infected with anything.
Yeah.
So something to think about.
All right, let's just play it out. So I'm going to play a virus. I'm going to play a medicine. I'm going to play 1 hero. So I'm going to use my dirty water to use I might use my virus against. Also, I think this might be us messing it up, and maybe the mat is telling us something that we're not getting here. But do you have to attach your medicine to a person and your tools to a person, or do they just seem your play?
They seem to be just in play to me.
Yeah. That might be something they'd be more strategic about, because right now I'm like, okay, which hero do I want to affect? Obviously I want to infect this hero, but I'm wondering, did he place a medicine on this hero, right? Because if you can play as many medicines as you want in the game, like, you can be already beefed up, and there's no, like, tension of decision making. But regardless, I'm going to play this virus against this guy.
Okay, well, I have medicine.
Alright, and so that just defeats the tool.
Maybe it says it has effects on each turn, so that's confusing.
Okay, what? So medicine card. You activate this card in your opponent's turn only when he activates a virus and destroy your hero. The effect of this card is to save your hero from infection to destroy. The hero is saved, the virus remains, and medicine is out of the game. I think what happens is that might be some advanced features in the other versions.
Okay, well, there we go. Medicine, it destroys your tool and goes out of the game.
The other idea,
the virus, the tools.
yeah, the other thing I'm thinking maybe it's like you can play medicine, you can activate medicine in other games and like issue buffers or buffs or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or like if it's too late because the guy's already infected, maybe the medicine opens off.
Yeah.
But I don't know that.
Well, either way, I'm gonna attack with this guy on this guy.
Okay, nothing happens
Because of the tie.
because they're tied.
Why does nothing happen?
Because it says, well, or there's no damage to carry over, and it only says that the weaker hero takes damage, and they're both equal. So,
See, this is like I'm already really frustrated because I can't do anything. Like I'm just stuck. Like, and now I'm gonna lose next turn, and the game will be over.
Yep.
So unless we're missing some fundamental thing for why we're not, like, what's messed up, I don't know. I don't know. Like, the only thing is I can think of is like, if the medicines can buff my guys up, like I can immediately play them, right? Because if that's the case, then this would be a +2, this would be a +2. This would work against this one at least. I could do some damage, but I think what you want to do is you want to try to get those heroes off the field faster. Like, that's what's fun about most of these kind of card games. It's like, oh man, all right, I'm gonna attack my hero with 4 against this hero, and this one loses 4 points, and this one, my hero is sacrificing. I'm sacrificing it to go away to get this hero down because it's a strong hero.
mm-hmm.
Like, that's a quick fix that I think might really help move the game along. I don't know. Any other thoughts?
It seems like there's like maybe the advanced version changes some of this, but at least in this version, there's no real decisions to make. You play every card you have. There's no reason not to. And then if you have higher heroes than your opponent, you attack. Otherwise, you don't. And like the game is pretty much the card tells you how to play it instead of you deciding how to use your cards. I don't know, like maybe that's good for little kids, but I don't think the game is very replayable. Like the reason I beat Jordan is purely because of luck. There's nothing specific that I did that gave me an advantage, and there's nothing that he didn't make any misplays. He played exactly right. I just drew better cards than him. Maybe he should have drawn a fresh hand at the start, and that could have helped him a little bit. But especially for a first game, it's hard to tell when that's important to do.
Yeah.
And he could have just drawn an even worse hand. There's nothing to say that he drew better cards.
I'm just looking quickly through like some of the rules in the lesson on the other tutorial, on the other versions of the game, and so we are. And I'm noticing now that medicine is used as a buff, like I was talking about before, and that emotions can work as a buffer too. So I'm kind of curious about like why we split this into like a low level 1 and a level 3. Like I understand you want to have like different complexity for different age groups maybe, but it seems like already like it's broken with just this tutorial one. So maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe you don't worry about that. Maybe you just try to like tell them everything that you need to know to play the game that's the best version of it. Right?
Yeah, because like if you make a easy level tutorial and if people play it and don't like it, they probably won't want to play a later one.
Yeah, and it seems like the first one right up there already solves some of the problems, right? Where it's medicines, you can use buff on your heroes, right? So I can like pump up my heroes, and so I don't know. I think there's an element of not, I don't know. yeah, there's just, I think you maybe should start with that low strategic level, level 2 one, rather than just showing us something that's kind of not really working as much. But I still think that the other critiques about it too is really good. I think we need to I think you really need to make the heroes have a battle sense better than just having 1 point as well, right?
The fact that drawing better cards just straight up makes you win is an issue for me, and I think that's going to be true at any level of play. Like, even if Jordan could have buffed his guys, I have medicines to buff my guys too. Like, I still would have overwhelmed him because I drew 14 points of heroes and he drew 10.
So one thing that everybody can see that can help is just you can only play one thing, right? Just simplify it so much where it's like you can always put down a hero and then you can play a tool, a virus, a medicine on your turn.
One of those 3 things?
One of those 3 things, or one of each. I mean, basically right now you can do all of your stuff. So whatever you get, you can just throw out there. And it's just it's kind of not fair because I want to strategize more. I want to do I put down medicine or a tool? Do I want to attack or protect? Do I want to buff or do I want to, that kind of thing. I think that might be easier. And it might be more fun, I think, right? I don't know. Worst place to put them. So yeah, I think if you put that into your virus, right, that's really fun because I'm boom, my virus is out now, right? And so now Sam's okay, his virus is out. What is he gonna do with that? Do I protect? Do I worry about it?
Right. Well, in my opinion, just that alone won't solve it because heroes will still do better.
Exactly.
If I can deal 8 damage at Jordan's 20 health points in one go, that's way better than anything you do with a virus or a tool or a what are the last thing?
Well, but right now though, you can put down a hero and something else. Right. Yeah. But you should maybe start with a hero set out or something like that. You should be able to put down all the heroes you want on your before you get first hit your hand or something. Something like that. Something to be able to protect before the first person gets to play. Or just no attacking the first turn.
Right. You definitely can be able to attack the first turn. That would change things a lot.
Yeah, I think so.
Magic uses summoning sickness.
Yeah.
That you can't attack the turn you play a hero.
But honestly, I could see just a little small tweaks in terms of balancing. This could be really fun, and I think you should raise the stakes in terms of the loss that we were talking earlier, right? Maybe instead of point damage, because heroes attacking the person, it's a little weird, right? Why would you want the representation of this old man attacking me, right?
I don't get why heroes attack anyone. What's the narrative of this? Who are we? Are we just normal people that have friends that beat each other up? Why are we fighting? Is this a gang war?
Yeah.
Is it a school where people fight each other? Is it a hospital? Why?
Hospital where people fight each other.
Hospital where people fight each other? Why would this barber beat up that nurse?
It's hilarious. I love it, but I think what Sam's getting at is why is this happening? I think the idea of heroes defending you, right, from viruses is interesting, right? I don't think you have to completely say you can't have a violent kind of game. I think it's okay. But I think Sam's idea of viruses infecting the player, that's more interesting than just damage as damage. I think you kind of have to couch it in some kind of narrative.
Right. Maybe instead of the heroes just attacking each other, they wear down their resistance. So if my 8 is bothering her his 6, that wears down her resistance and she takes a point. So then later when the virus hits her, she'll be wiped out. And make the narrative more about disease. Because it's the point of the game, which is the viruses, seems really lost and disconnected from this game where people fight each other.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. I think the tools with the viruses are super interesting, and I think that's the cool part, because the learning is like, okay, this toothbrush can transfer these viruses, right? So you're subtly telling them that these viruses can be transferred by a toothbrush, right? Which is cool because it's like a subtle way of teaching something about transferable diseases without actually throwing it in their face. But again, like Sam said, it gets lost when you have heroes attacking other heroes and viruses just being used as like debuffers to make them weaker or whatever. I understand the idea of a virus weakening somebody, but I mean, it's almost one of those things where the most dangerous thing should be the virus and not the hero attacking, right? Like the barber with 8 attacking me is more dangerous as a player than getting infected with the virus, which that's a messed up learning goal there, right? But I think there's definitely potential. I think you just got to tweak out how what's the most important thing here, and kind of finding a way to simplify it without taking away from that core that you have already. I think the baseline is good. I think you just gotta balance it out.
Think about the narrative of it.
Yeah, that too.
Those are my main concerns.
Yeah. So I think quick fixes, like you said, quick fixes first of all is just getting, so the fact that I don't have to die in like 3 turns, right? Like that's a quick fix that you can easily do. Just be like, you can't attack in your first turn, or everybody's without heroes, right? That's really very little changes. The other thing is changing how if you're going to have heroes attacking and everything like that, how those attacks work. Like if an 8 goes against my 6, like I can't do anything until I get a hero that's 8. Then the MX just kind of breaks it. So find the number balance there. And then the bigger thing, like you just said, is after you find that balance there, it might be worth it to rethink how attacking and damage works between heroes, whether viruses are these buffers or if that's the more dangerous thing. If the player gets infected by a virus, right, like maybe it's I have 5 points of health, and if I get infected by a virus, I'm going to keep going down until I can like cure myself or something. Like there's just things like that you can think about at the larger steps. So I hope that helps.